Hey everybody, welcome to Crackback Tuesday number 141 on the Mana League. I'm John as always, and we've got maybe 2 weeks left of Rivals of Ixalan. After that, we'll be cracking open Masters 25 and talking about this. But for now, let's open this pack of Rivals, see what's in it, and see what we would take pack one, pick one if this was a draft. As well, exciting news, the Masters 25 packs are sponsored by a viewer, meaning that they'll be getting every single card that we open there. But starting with Dominaria, I'm going to open it up to all patrons. So look out for an announcement starting with Dominaria. You're going to have a chance to get the cards that I open in these packs. Up first, we have Goblin Trailblazer, 1 in a red for a creature Goblin Pirate, 2/1 with Menace. It's fine, I'll play it in my aggro decks. I'm never ever first picking it. Up next is the Legion Conquistador, 2 and a white for a creature Vampire Soldier, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you can go and find as many as you want out of your deck. These are fine. These are totally fine. In a Vampire deck, they're pretty darn solid, especially if you can get like 3 or 4. I'd play upwards of 6 if I had them. First one kind of sucks, but decent enough. Nowhere near a first pick. Up next is Sea Legs, a single blue mana for an enchantment aura. It has flash. Creature gets +0/+2, or if it's a pirate, it gets +2/+0. This is okay. It's not massively exciting. You'll play it in your pirate decks as like a 22nd card, 23rd card, and you'll cut it every other time. Nowhere near a first pick. Up next is Vampire Revenant, 3 and a black for a creature Vampire Spirit. It's a 3/1 flyer. I'll play it, but it's very 23rd cardy. Even in the Vampire deck, it's kind of like 22nd cardish. Not that great. Up next is a whoa! Getting away from me there. Gilt Grove Stalker, 1 and a green for a creature Merfolk Warrior. It's a 2/1. Gilt Grove Stalker can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Kind of like the green Goblin Trailblazer. Totally fine in the Merfolk deck. Even kind of okay outside of the Merfolk deck as an early aggressive 2-drop, but nowhere near a first pick. Continuing the nowhere near first picks, we have a Gleaming Barrier, 2 generic mana for an artifact creature wall. It's an 0/4, it's got Defender. When it dies, you get yourself a treasure. I'll play this if I'm being controlling, if I desperately need to make the late game, but otherwise this card is not going to make my main board and never, ever would ever be a first pick. A potential first pick, we have Exultant Skymarcher. Exultant Skymarcher is 1 white for a creature Vampire Soldier. It's a 2/3 with flying. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's solid. It's solid enough to be a first pick if this pack sucks, which it's currently doing. So it'll stay in frame for now. I would feel bad if I have to first pick it though. Up next is Cleansing Ray, 1 and a white for a sorcery. Pick 1, destroy target vampire, destroy target enchantment. Both of those are great. This is one of the better sideboard cards in the entire format, just because it does hit a lot of things that are very scary, vampires and enchantments, but it's super far away from a first pick. Our last common, meaning we have a foil, is Jungleborn Pioneer, 2 and a green for a creature Merfolk Scout. It's a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you get a 1/1 hex-proof Merfolk. Totally fine. Goes in the Merfolk deck. You'll be pretty happy to have it, especially if you have when Merfolk enter the battlefield synergies, etc. But it's nowhere near a first pick. So on to the uncommons with 1 card as the quote-unquote, heavy quote-unquote first pick. Thunderherd Migration, 1 and a green for a sorcery. You get to go and put a land onto the battlefield tapped. If you reveal a dinosaur, or if you don't reveal a dinosaur, you have to pay 1 mana more. This is fine. I'm happy to have it, especially in the dinosaur deck, especially in the 3 colors Zakama dinosaur deck, but it's not a first pick. So out that goes. Up next is Oathsworn Vampire. Oathsworn Vampire is 1 and a black for a creature Vampire Knight. It's a 2/2. It enters the battlefield tapped, and you may cast it from the graveyard if you gained life this turn. Have been super unimpressed with this guy, even in the Vampire deck. It's just, it doesn't do anything. Like, if I'm getting there by gaining life, which probably means I dealt a bunch of damage, or at least some damage, which means I'm winning, I get to spend 2 mana for a tapped 2/2. Ugh. I'll play this in my Vampire deck, but it's pretty darn close to 22, 23. Our final uncommon is Thrashing Brontodon, a definite first pick. 1 green for a 3/4 creature dinosaur. Pay 1 generic mana, sacrifice it, and you get yourself a Naturalize. This card's insanely good. It's insanely good for an almost vanilla creature. It's a 3/4 for 3, which is super undercosted. It has Naturalize attached to it, which is a fantastic sideboard card when you need it, and when you don't need it, you still have a 3/4 for 3. Definitely would consider first picking a Thrashing Brontodon. We have a foil rare before our rare. Our foil rare is Kumena's Awakening. 2 blue for an enchantment. It has Ascend at the beginning of your upkeep. Each player draws a card. If you have the City's Blessing, instead only you draw a card. This thing is great. People were super down on it at the start of the format. I don't know why. I feel like they just misread it. So first off, Ascend is easy to get to. We know that now for sure, as I thought it was going to be at the start of the format. But the big thing here is at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws the card. This isn't Howling Mine. The first time this card activates and actually does its thing, you get to use the extra card first, even if you don't have Ascend and your opponent is getting another card too. This card's really, really good, and I would definitely consider first picking it. However, our other rare destroys everything else. It's just Profane Procession. 1 white/black for legendary enchantment. Do incredibly broken things. 3 white/black, exile target creature. When there are 3 exiled cards underneath Profane Procession, you flip it, and then you start paying 2 white/black and putting them onto the battlefield. This card is a mistake as far as limited goes. It is excruciatingly annoying, and there is no way that you should never, ever, ever not first pick it. I might have this as the #1 card in the set. At worst, it's top 3. This card's busted. Easy first pick for me. Maybe this is worth something, I'm not sure, but easy first pick, Profane Procession for me. That card is just busted. Let me know what you would have taken in the comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at TheManaLeak. That's LEEK, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeak, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeak, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeak. If you like the content, click that thumbs up button. Click subscribe if you want to see more, and if you do have questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see you all next time.